Hey there, and welcome to the Do Life Big podcast. This podcast is going to be your jam if you want to live to your full potential and don't believe in half-assing anything in your life. If we want to do life big, that means we've got to get out of our own way because we only have this one shot to make it awesome. I'm your host, Kathy, and I'm a mom of three whose BFF is cold brew, a retired school teacher turned online entrepreneur, and an author. I'm loud, bold, and will always keep it real. I'm determined to live my best freaking life possible, and I'm here to help you do the same. I'll be packing this podcast with tips, motivation, inspiration, and strategies to finally get you where you want to go. And we will have a ton of laughter along the way because, let's be honest, we can't ever take ourselves too seriously, right? I'm so excited you are here with me today. Now let's get this party started. Hey, before we dive into this episode, I really wanted to share this with you really quickly so that you don't miss it, because I have people asking me all the time, how the heck do you actually identify what your limiting beliefs are? How do I change these negative thoughts that are in my mind? So if you haven't seen it already, I created a completely free PDF. You can go to kathyreuter.com/think this, not that. And I literally have 19 of the most common limiting beliefs or negative thoughts that are on repeat that you may not even know exist in your subconscious mind, but they're there and they're listed on this PDF. And then I give you a more empowering belief to replace it with. That's how you change the results that you see in your life, by changing the way that you're thinking, reprogramming the way that you think. So head over to kathyreuter.com/think this, not that. It will be in the show notes. And that's where you need to start, becoming aware and then replacing those thoughts with more empowering ones. So I know it'll help you out. Hey, my friend, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Do Life Big. Listen, today we are diving in and we are going to talk about doing the actual things to become that successful entrepreneur. Because, we hear all the time people get into entrepreneurship because they want this life by design, right? This life of freedom. I want this flexibility. I want financial freedom. But a lot of times, most people get caught up in all the shiny aspects of being an entrepreneur that they end up just becoming and acting like a wannabe entrepreneur. They've got those big dreams. They have the visions. They have the vision board, but they aren't doing the right actions to move the needle in their business to produce that income. So let's dive in so that you can find out if you're actually playing entrepreneur or you're being a successful one. So I've been mentoring clients now for the last 10 years. And I was talking to a client just the other week actually about this. And she was telling me about all the things that she was doing for her new business. But those things weren't actually leading to more clients. And so her business wasn't actually growing. And she was really stressed out about it. And sometimes we can use this busyness as a form of procrastination. So we're getting that busyness and that movement in our business every day even, but we're not actually achieving anything from it. Being busy doesn't mean that you're achieving something. And I've been victim of this too many a times over the last 10 years where I've had to call myself out, or my husband has had to call me out, which, let me just be honest, totally pisses me off, right? When your husband is like, by the way, blah, 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 right? Like your friend can say it. Anybody else can say the exact same thing, but then like your spouse says it and it's like, jump down their throat. I don't want to hear it. At least that's how I am. But anyways, I've had to call myself out too, or I've been called out by someone else. Like, what are you doing? What you're doing right now is not the right actions to move your business forward. You're distracting yourself and you're just keeping busy, right? And it's not working. And so how can we switch this for you? This going from wanting, wishing, playing entrepreneur to being an entrepreneur. If you find yourself sitting around waiting, or telling yourself that, I'll be happy when I finally hit that 6-figure income, or you're having a hard time bringing in income routinely, or you're struggling to get the traction that you were hoping to get on social media. These are all signs that you're just kind of playing entrepreneur, right? But the biggest sign that you're actually playing entrepreneur and not being one is if you're waiting to be told what to do. Now, again, I have fallen victim of this, but that is the biggest sign that you're just playing entrepreneur, waiting to be told what to do. This is the biggest mistake for some entrepreneurs. that they're waiting for direction. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're in the business of creating and solving problems. And so by sitting around waiting, you could be stuck in perfectionism mode or waiting for some sort of certainty to know that you're on the right path. But the coincidental thing here about entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship is full of uncertainty. It is literally the most uncertain thing that you can get involved in. And so you have to be okay with that. You've got to be okay with uncertainty. And so, operating from this place of certainty or wanting and waiting for certainty, this kind of mindset, where does this really come from? This comes from an employee mindset. That's where it comes from. It stems from that because society teaches us to be this way. And as an employee, just think about it. You're trying not to fail. You're trying not to mess up. Otherwise, you'll get fired or you won't get that raise that you want, right? And so you avoid taking any kind of risks as an employee because the amount of income that you earn will depend on your ability to get that great performance review. And so you're always waiting for someone to tell you that you're doing a great job so that you can get that promotion or that raise, that bonus, whatever it is. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, but you're waiting around so you don't make a mistake, well, you're playing in the wrong game here. Because as an entrepreneur, you have to tell yourself what to do. You are the one making the decisions, calling the shots. You will not be given direction by anyone. You create that direction as an entrepreneur. So just take a second and ask yourself right now, am I waiting for certainty before I take risks in my business? Another thing that successful entrepreneurs do is that they focus daily on bringing revenue into their company. Whereas the wannabe entrepreneurs have their focus and their priority on supporting other existing support systems, such as groups that they run or manage, social media, graphics, getting the newsletter out, organizing themselves in Asana, the website, spending all their time supporting their existing people, right? All these things are important. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. Don't get it twisted. But sales is the life of your business. So if your priority and focus is not on sales and revenue, then what you have is a really time-consuming hobby because you don't technically have a business until it's producing revenue, right? So you need to switch your focus to sales. If you're someone who's being focused and prioritizing all the support systems, switch your focus to sales because if you put what you offer in front of more people more frequently, then more people are going to be smart enough to say yes to what you have. So make as many offers as possible and get really comfortable with rejection because 95% of people won't buy. And at first, this is going to start small if you're someone brand new, right? You might put your offer in front of 20 people and then one person might buy it. And that's okay. But that's why you need to continue to practice this and continue practice putting this out there as often as possible. And the more you put your offer out there, the better and better you get. And you'll be able to have a bigger impact on more lives. So websites, certifications, it's not where your focus should be. The other day I met one of my new business besties at a coffee shop and we were doing some work together. And she was talking to me about network marketing because I ran a really successful business in network marketing for several years. And, she was talking to me about why is it that you think that more people don't succeed with network marketing? And one of the things that I talked about was this exact topic right here was that there are so many different shiny objects in any business, right? Not just network marketing, in any business. There are so many distractions, so many different things that need to be done, so many different tasks. But at the end of the day, you could spend all day long. You could spend 8 hours working on all those other shiny little objects and literally not do the right income producing activities that are going to grow your business. And at the end of the day, most people get wrapped up in all the other parts, the shiny parts that don't actually move the needle in your business instead of staying focused on the income producing activities, right? And so we really need to make sure that we are focusing on the right things, that we are prioritizing the right things, how to generate income in your business consistently over time. Because listen, at the end of the day, people will pay top freaking dollar to get their problems solved. So your job needs to be able to communicate as often as possible what problem you are solving with your program or product. Okay. And then the next thing is that entrepreneurs also, they don't sit around and they don't wait for the motivation to come, because I hear that one a lot. I just don't feel motivated enough to do it. I'm not, motivated enough to do that video or to reach out to that client or to do that call, whatever it is. So if you're sitting around waiting for some kind of freaking lightning bolt to just come strike you in your ass, you've got to stop that, because motivation comes as a byproduct of your action. So write that one down. Motivation comes as a byproduct of action. It's just like working out. I'm never motivated. I never want to do it. But once I get moving, then I get more motivated. That's when the motivation comes. So do the work and the motivation will come. But 80 to 90% of your time every day needs to be on sales. The last thing that I wanted to touch on too here is to be really careful with who you take advice from. This is a big difference between the successful entrepreneurs and the wannabe entrepreneurs. Sometimes the wannabe entrepreneurs, their vision and their dreams and their ideas for their business can get clouded because they're taking advice from people who have never actually built a business in their entire life. Be really careful with who you take advice from. Think about it. Is the advice coming from someone who has actually built a business before? Or is it coming from like a wannabe entrepreneur or from someone with no business experience whatsoever? Just like my mentor once said, and you might want to write this one down, don't take constructive criticism from people who have never constructed something before in their life. Listen, you can still honor and love and respect these people, of course. But when it comes to building an actual business, are you going to listen to your mentor who's built the multi-7-figure business? Or are you going to listen to your spouse or best friend who has never built a business before in their life? Listen, I know when it comes to me, I will choose over and over and over again the advice from the person who has made millions and actually constructed something. So just be careful. Don't let your vision and what you need to do get clouded from the advice from the wrong people. Okay? Prioritize the sales. Take action, and then as you evolve, then you can focus on putting the systems into place. So after all of this, after this whole episode, I hope it helped you out. What I want you to do is I want you to go out and I want you to take the right action today in your business that you need to take to move the needle forward. I want you to have all the things. I want you to have financial freedom. I want you to have time freedom and flexibility. And I want you to build a big ass, kick ass business, of course. But you've got to take massive, bold action, and you've got to take the right action. So what action can you take today? What can you do right now? And just remember, you're taking the road less traveled, and I am so damn proud of you for that. And you should be proud of yourself too. So don't forget that, and don't forget to celebrate yourself, because what you're doing is freaking amazing. Listen, thanks so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you loved it, please share it on social media. Tag me in it. I love to hear from different people that these episodes are helping them. Really just appreciate you being here. You know I love you. I believe in you, and I will see you the next time. All right, bye. Thanks so much for listening in. I really appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me today. You totally rock. Hey, listen, if you loved today's episode, go ahead and tag me on social and go share this with a friend right now. Do it immediately before the day gets ahead of you and you totally forget. Couldn't be more pumped to be on this journey with you guys. Go make today awesome, and I will see you the next time.